it begins. The bouncing of the audio. Let's see how this shall go. How the tables will turn. Let's see if we might turn it down. Interesting. I don't know why it sounds so much louder here than it did when I was actually like prepping and stuff. I don't know why the music sounds so much louder. But we'll turn it down a little bit, just a smidgen. And oh my god, you know, here we are, you and me. Salutations, friends. Name is pronounced Itchio, otherwise known as No Ordinary Scholar. Hello. But yes, here we are, you and I, because where else would we want to be on this lovely Juneteenth than talking about some fuck ass journalism? It's we'll get into it, but first let us start with some morning announcements. First and foremost, we've got these here thingies. You're just gonna see half of me, and that's fine. I write books, and these are books that I've written. I've written more books than just this. We'll eventually work on getting a whole cute little morning announcements thing. It's gonna be great, but these are the books that are currently in the graphic. Links for these are down below. They are free to read, and we did just release we released a short story early in February for Valentine's Day, and then we released book 5 of the Queen of Thieves a little bit ago. Those are also both linked down below. Also in the links down below are going to be links to a spreadsheet that has a bunch of GoFundMes for people in crisis zones across the world to donate to. There's going to be links to, where's the fucking camera? There's going to be links to non-Zionist graphic design programs. I use Inkscape because Canva's a Zionist graphic design program. I use Inkscape. That is what I use to make my current thumbnail, and that's what I've been using for a hot minute now to make graphics and whatnot. Snappa is essentially the same exact thing as Canva, but I prefer Inkscape because I like to have my files. I like to possess my files because getting shit out of Canva was a goddamn nightmare. Trying to think what else. Yeah, those are links down below. And just a final word to the people here in this household: we stand with the people of LA. We stand with immigrants and refugees, and fuck ICE and the politicians that they wrote in on. Yeah, that is our morning announcements. Let us continue the class and start talking about this shit. So background. My job, the thing that actually pays bills, we travel in a car together, and my boss likes to listen to radio news while we're in the car, and the station he be listening to. We are in Chicago, by the way, and we are listening to this fairly local news station, and they're talking about a murder that has happened in Chicago, in which 2 sisters have been murdered in the middle of the night. And the lady fucking talking is going on description of the case, goes on to tell people, keep an eye out for things, keep an eye out if you see anything suspicious. And here is this number, this police hotline number to contact you, to get you in contact with people working on this case. Call if you see anything suspicious. They are saying that the murderer was the girls' brothers. One girl was, I believe, 21, the other one was 9. This woman says the friends are saying that the brother was the killer, and she follows that up with, which I'm confused because I thought the younger brother was the one that went and told the neighbor and got the neighbor and called the police. And if that's not clear enough, let me just say out loud, it is red flag number one, that in this case, you've seen the statement, brother did it, and you've seen the statement, younger brother got the neighbor, called the police, and the neighbor does do an interview, like expressing that the younger brother, who I believe is like 7, comes, knocks on the door, asks for help, stuff like that. Red flag number 1 is you either didn't think or did not look to see if there were 2 brothers. The issue we're going to keep coming back to in this specific case with this specific reporting is the fact that this person ended a session of talking about this by saying, I'm confused. I thought the brother was the one who did this, that, or the other. Because, again, did not consider or look to see if there was just multiple brothers. And that was like a red flag out the gate immediately when I saw this. Just irritating. A little bit later, I want to say either like the next day or a couple days later, there is another report, an update on this case. And again, we're still looking for the brother. And the woman says that he is 25 years old. And it just, everything clicked in my head and just infinite amounts of fear, because first and foremost, actually, we'll get back to that. Like, an issue that comes up with the fact that we got to this at all at any point in time is they said they were looking for the brother. They gave the name of the brother they were looking for, meaning you had this man's government, you had his fucking bloodline as available information, and you didn't know that he wasn't the 7-year-old. You didn't know his age. Because I doubt that police are saying, hey, keep out. Fuck it. Actually, I lied. That's a goddamn lie. Fuck the police. I doubt that any logical ass human being says, hey, keep an eye out for this person. And the only age they give is of everyone else in the case. Everyone else that is sibling of this human, but they don't give you the age of the person you should be looking for. That doesn't make fucking sense. That doesn't make sense. And I can't fathom how you are someone telling, as this journalist, as this reporter, as this fucking radio host, who is telling people, hey, keep an eye out, telling people a fucking phone number to call to send police after anyone's suspicious, how you could see that the person's goddamn name was present. Like, you saw this person's name, you saw that we know the entire family of this person, and thus we should have a smidgen of information about them, just some about who they are. And you said, I'm confused about whether or not it's a 7-year-old. That's not information that I need, though. That's not information I should clarify, though. It's because, again, when you say, hey, I don't know if the person, I think it is a brother of theirs, I'm confused on if it was this 7-year-old or not. When one of the girls is 21, one of them is 9, and you have this 7-year-old you're confusing the killer with. That is a wide ass range of black men that you are like grouping into the potentially guilty range. That's a lot of people that you were throwing into the potentially guilty range. And quite frankly, the fact that, again, you're confused on whether or not it is the elementary schooler, it's going to lead people who are listening towards thinking and accusing younger black boys, like teens, preteens, stuff like that, thinking that is the range. And I live in fucking Chicago, so Lord goddamn knows people are out here primed and goddamn ready to throw a fucking teenage or preteen, a 10-year-old goddamn black child in jail. My goddamn, don't get me started on the judges and shit for the election in Chicago in 2024, because all of them are bigots. I swear to God, if I hear anyone else say blue, no matter who, I will fucking fight. I digress. But again, this is an area with a history, a long-standing history of jailing black children for crimes that they did not commit and very clearly did not fucking commit. And to just skew the perspective of who could have committed this crime in the direction of just black fucking youth, young black boys and men, is just fucking absurd, is lazy. It is again, you knew this man's name from the first day. You knew his name. So why did it not occur to you that if you know the name, you know his entire family, why did it not occur to you that maybe you could narrow down the list of what range you're looking up for people? Again, because you are giving out a police hotline number for people to fucking call. You are inciting action. You've given a call to action, and you are inciting violence by having people surveying and monitoring this wide range of black men and black boys. Like, this is what you are requesting of them, and you did not think it was important to get again, it is the fact of going into this and at any point being confused on this information and not thinking it's fucking important to get an answer, not thinking that you shouldn't be giving people police contact information when you have so little of the important goddamn information. And it is like, it's genuinely I don't want to hear a singular goddamn person say kids these days are so lazy, because I will point them at this goddamn radio show, because again, all you had to do was look it up. Like, you're simply not going to convince me that they gave you this boy's, a 25-year-old grown man gave you his full government name in an article, report, whatever, that also had the information of, like, you had both of his sisters' names and ages. Again, this is the brother of these two people. They don't suddenly not have any information about the person they're goddamn looking for, but you didn't consider it because you don't really care. And that's the thing, is you couldn't care less if they did stop and interrogate every single black child. You have to think that's a valid response to what's going on in order to not see any value in just narrowing down the goddamn age range of who you're looking for. I find this so incredibly frustrating, because we've seen a massive swath we've seen shitty and terrible and biased journalism across the entire the entire West, as a result of people just trying to do their best and do the most elaborate mental gymnastics to get around holding Israel accountable for any of their crimes as a colonizing force and a genocidal force. We've seen that a lot. We've also seen this massive wave of people bitching and moaning about everyone has a fucking video essay channel, everyone's doing video essays, as if it's not literally like it's the same thing. Humans have always done these things. It's the new format because, again, you have radio shows, you had newspaper articles and newspaper columns and blogs, and like people have always had like means of and desires to talk to and inform and discuss and engage with the public, and especially about things that they are just want to fucking talk about, want to communicate, interact, engage about. But it's just so exhausting to see when some of these things will slip through the cracks, like with local fucking issues, local incidents, where it's easier to be it's easier to benefit from the ignorance and biases of people in these quiet, small settings, because you're not getting several million fucking eyes or ears able to critique, call out, and challenge you. But it is also an issue where the local and small settings and these more intimate settings are where you are likely going to have significantly more influence. It is how like you have essentially the difference between like celebrity influence and like a YouTuber's influence on a smaller, more intimate audience. It is because it feels more real. It is because it feels more, people feel more connected to someone who's just kind of like right there. And they're talking about these issues that are going to affect you, that are in your neighborhood and right beside you. And if you have faith in human beings, it's easy to not necessarily see that there's something wrong with what they're saying. And if you have the same biases as them, including biases that would not be against them, then it's easy to dismiss when they've done something wrong. Because a lot of the times when people make these kinds of critiques, when people complain about these types of things, it is because it is very narrow-sighted. And that's especially what you get with liberals. It is very narrow-sighted because, well, when a Democrat does it, it doesn't make me feel the same, and thus it's not the same thing. But that's not what this is. And so guarantee a lot of people would, like, if a teenager turned in a research essay about this and said, well, I'm confused on if it was the little brother or not. I could have sworn the little brother was the one who reported the murder. So I'm so confused on why they said the brother did it. If a teenager turned that in as a paper, as a research paper, as a current events report, whatever, they would get a big red mark that said, well, why didn't you look it up? But this is a grown-ass adult, so you don't think of a grown-ass adult as being lazy and careless and reckless, but the grown-ass adult has a lot more fucking influence on who they impact, how they are going to get people to react, and they do have that level of respect because people assume adulthood means you're good at things. And I'm so deeply frustrated with just the sheer carelessness, the recklessness, and the ignorance that can just go into these moments. And all I can fucking do is scream into my own microphone about it, you know? It's so frustrating. I have more to say about it, but about not this, but it's frustrating because fucking kids in Chicago have it hard fucking enough. This goddamn city is a sundown town for children, and it's like all I will say about it is that they want to give police the ability to just randomly decide it's curfew in 30 minutes, and if you're still in sight in those after the 30 minutes that the police have called a curfew, you can get arrested. I'm irritated, I'm upset, I'm grumpy. That is just some shitty fucking local journalism that I wanted to scream and rant about, because again, why the fuck wouldn't you just look it up? Why the fuck are you giving people the police hotline for this case if you couldn't be goddamn bothered to get genuinely some of the most important information do you have? It's I hate it. I hate everything. I'm grumpy and I'm upset, but that is all I have to say about this specific thing. It is a time. We're having a time. But that is going to be all for me about this. I will be popping in later. We're going to do switching to some updates on the channel. We are going to be doing a combined Q1 and 2 reading wrap up. I wasn't going to do that, but I made the entire like spreadsheet like thing. I made the entire thing, and then something I guess happened. It didn't save, and so I have to redo it. So we're just going to combine Q1 and Q2 to do that. Which means that I have another book review that I need to do, which is going to be Everything for Everyone, and we are going to do that review before it's, I'm gonna tell you right now, required reading, best book ever. Absolutely adore it. I also have some other more relaxed chats that I want to do, not heavily like it's more, I don't currently have a space to talk about things as I'm like things I'm feeling and thinking as I'm like in the middle of a book, in the middle of doing research. And so this is just me wanting to get a chance to get stuff out of my brain and chat and talk about puzzle pieces that are forming, and that is going to include liberals. We love it, but I want to do a chat like that soon, and then we shall see. But that is all from me for today. Thank y'all so much for watching, and until next time, valedictions, friends.